All right, today we talk about how to be okay with the circumstances out of us not within our expectation, and especially for those who are attached, right? You have a wife, you're married, you have a girlfriend probably, or maybe you're in the midst of dating someone. How to have this habit of not comparing and measuring your peace to somebody else's response. And I think it's good to be addressing this because a lot of men out there, we tend to tell ourselves, nah, it's okay, it's fine. I'm okay, I'm fine. But the immediate dismissal of being completely honest with themselves when we are not okay, but pretending to be okay, and especially when that someone replies you, then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I replied late. Then we tend to jump in immediately. Say, no, it's okay, it's fine, and I was busy anyway. But the very fact that we are waiting in longing, and let us look at this reflection today. For anyone who ever felt stuck in this space before when you are sending a message or you are making a call, receiving, then that silent, or whether it is your ex, whether it is your current girlfriend or your wife, probably even, you want to feel that you still matters, whatever that you reach out to her. And to always constantly allowing her to make you feel that you are important, it is a very suffocating relationship, a, a kind of attachment that we have. And I want to speak to this part of us that still believes that we cannot be okay until they respond. And the switch between that emotions when she replies or when she don't reply, oh, I haven't replied. Oh, replied it. Oh, wow. Suddenly my life lights up and yeah, there's hope and I feel whole again. And I know some of these former POA teaching would be to put you in a space where, oh, don't leave chance. Don't leave your chance to only one. Probably if you are still single and you are exploring options, it is always good to have many or multiple options, right? Multiple options so that you don't have to be stuck with that one. But what about those who have a girlfriend and you are married? So you want to have a few wives so that you can always be okay, or you have a few girlfriends to be okay? What if all of them at the same time, they all never reply? More? Get more options? So let's speak to us this honest part that we might still fall into the trap of constantly waiting. And as we say to ourselves, it doesn't matter, then fell into the limbo. But this is important because when that reply came about, it made us feel that we are still valued, we are respected or important, regardless whether they are really busy or not. And especially you're dealing with more sensitive relationships, especially when it is an ex or in the midst of a quarrel with your girlfriend or wife, that moment of silence can be very, very deafening. Because we want to still know that whether we do matter, where have we immediately been replaced, forgotten, or dismissed. And it sounds very harmless, but deep down inside, it stems from a place of insecurity where I am outsourcing my peace, putting them in somebody else's hand. And what I started to see this pattern is not only about one person. It was a system, an emotional habit, and it doesn't feel okay until that someone mirrors back the response that I wanted to get. So over years and past decades, I realized the power of thinking that I can elicit response from anyone that I want anytime. But in return, I actually gave the job of regulating my emotion onto somebody else's hand. Response good? Yes, I'm okay. If response no good, there would be this unconscious spiral until somebody else's response. And even with my wife, if her tone was cold or she said like, hey, are you okay, darling? No, I'm okay. But somehow the tone was off. And I'll go into some kind of panic mode that, oh, okay, is there something that I never did enough? Was there something that I did wrong? Or, or suddenly I start to go into this self-doubt. Oh, am I good enough? And the fast escape would be, of course, to distract myself in work, or probably have a conversation with someone else, or probably someone of the opposite sex, just to get this kind of feminine energy to feel that I'm still important. But the fact is this, I wasn't hearing me. I was waiting for her. And it comes for the longest time that this emotional confusion, it compromises emotional security. And the truth is this, when I grew up feeling invisible, needing to earn love from someone, I'll treat every message and response like a test. And this silence in between, if possible, I'll try to fix it. I'll read into the pause. I will chase a reply like it holds the key to my worth. So until one day I realized, if I always need her reply for me to feel grounded, then I am actually not in a relationship. Okay, hear me out. If I constantly need somebody else's to give me a reply for me to be grounded, I'm actually going around in a performance loop. So what is a performance loop? A performance loop is when I'm done doing something, what does the performer usually does? You put up a show, well polished, and thank you very much for your time. And we wait for that applause or response, regardless whether it is a boo or woo. But at least give me a response. But then the performance, what is it tied down? Is it tied down to the performance that's wanting to be expressed from the soul, or is it from a script that I need a response? And it's a very subtle line between when we are doing powers of alignment here. So what we can do differently today, of course, it takes practice and also a high level of awareness on a day-to-day basis, or even every day a few moments of awareness and alignment. So when the silence comes, we can tell ourselves, okay, let's breathe into this. Let's breathe into this. My wife is distance. Okay, I don't scramble. I check in with myself first. So, and especially some of you out there, when an ex or a lady or qualifier doesn't reply, or when this new woman goes cold, do we, in this period of silence, create stories? What we can do is just return to the truth, which is ourself. The very thing that we can do and have already done is I've already sent a message. I already I already reached out what I wanted to share or to show. That's it. Show doesn't mean that I need to perform. It means I want to express. That's it. And as I show up honestly for myself, and that was the response that I wanted to give out, and that has to be enough, because anything further than making my own emotional safety as somebody else's responsibility, that would not be power. That will stem from survival, that will stem from neediness. And if we can, as we can, embark on this journey of living beyond survival, that is where true life begins. And so this episode, I hope you find it useful, because if you are in between this transition, whether you are waiting for somebody else's response for you to make your day, I want you to hear this, my friends. Their reply is not our anchor, but the response to ourselves is. We can continue to feel the ache and the restlessness, but still choose peace. And as long as you can do that, you will not lose yourself. And if they don't respond, it's okay, because you just responded to yourself. You choose yourself. And that's the best and loudest reply you will ever really need for yourself. Walk away with that today, my dear friends, and I will see you at the next episode for the powers of alignment.